Three members of Forces Wives Challenge, a group that unites women who have partners in the military through adventure. But for rider Stephanie Quintrell, getting back in the saddle is an achievement in itself, after she quite suddenly became disabled.
3.5, nearly 4 years ago, I became really unwell really quickly, and what it ended up was I was diagnosed with a neurological condition, but my life kind of changed overnight really. Within 48 hours my life was, as it was, had completely changed, and I ended up in the wheelchair.
Happily, Stephanie's condition eventually stabilised enough to allow her to resume her passion, horse riding. And she came up with the idea for a trek across the Pyrenees, which will take them 130 kilometres over the mountain range in 5 days.
Yeah. And then remember, if she starts to move, one of you just kick the wheelchair out the way.
And during that trek, the team will have to assist Stephanie on and off the horses. And there's quite a technique to it.
Okay, ready?
1, 2, 3,
lift!
Better.
The trek will follow the route of the Freedom Trail, which allowed World War II Allied servicemen and Jewish refugees to flee from France to Spain. It's the latest in a number of adventures for members of the Forces Wives Challenge.
Everything from the Heroes of Telemark trek across Norway, climbing the highest active volcano in the world in Chile. So they do some really extraordinary, large expeditions, but there's also a whole host of other opportunities for people perhaps that may not have done any kind of walking or any kind of adventure, anything from climbing Penny Fan to doing like a little weekend away, so introductory walk in the hills.
The Ride to Freedom set to be challenging physically but also emotionally.
I think it's going to be a far bigger emotional challenge than I maybe initially thought. I think it's going to be quite the kind of being out of the country, being away from my husband who's my primary carer, my son. We've got a 5.5-year-old son. That's going to be a really big deal. So I think actually probably the emotional side of it is probably going to be the bigger challenge, even though on the surface it looks like it would be the physical challenge will be most difficult.
The team is raising money for the Armed Forces Equine charity, and they begin their epic trip at the end of June. Tim Cooper, Forces News, Hampshire. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.